Welcome back to a new mic'd up video. Seems like I'll be able to do these throughout the winter, or at least if it's like above 30, I think I can train out here. It just will take me longer to warm up. I think once it's days where it's below 30 out here, then I think it will just take an exorbitant amount of time to do a weightlifting session. I could still actually probably train in those temperatures with how well the sleeping bag actually insulates the doorway. Plus the little heater that I have actually does, like, once you're out here for a while, you do actually feel pretty decent. But if I was just doing squats and pulls or like bodybuilding stuff, I think really at any portion of the year I could do. But to do like a session like today, I think it just has to be above freezing essentially, because then I can actually get it to feel like I'm like in the mid 50s. And if I'm bundled up a little bit, like I have 2 layers on, I have 2 layers of pants on, and I say 2 layers, but I have like these athletic pants on, and then I have like my normal like hook grip Polish weightlifting style pants. So it's not really 2 layers, but you get what I mean. Also, the knee wraps do help a lot when it's cold, just to physically keep my joint warm. But the goal today, so I want to do some block work, obviously, as I had the blocks out. I did 120 last week. I don't know how well I'll be able to do with this session. I remember my numbers, and I kind of like the routine that I'm in right now, where I'm trying to do repeatable sessions week to week, and then trying to progress those sessions and not just kind of going by feel with individual sessions and doing different things on different days, but trying to be more regimented with each week and still being flexible, going heavier or lighter depending on how I feel, but trying to repeat sessions. So last week I did 120 from the snatch, 145 with the clean. I did a behind the neck jerk with 145, and then I did some volume work with back squat. I don't know. I probably will back squat today. That's something that will really be by feel. I don't know if I'll just do a little bit of volume, if I will work up like I would normally do in like a full squat workout. I did do some front squats yesterday, and they went relatively well, but like I went heavy like I did the previous week. So a lot of the days I'm alternating. So earlier in that week, so let me explain that. So earlier in the week, I did clean RDLs instead of snatch RDLs. The previous week, I did snatch RDLs. On the Saturday session, instead of doing a back squat, I did a front squat. So I don't know if that will be true each week. That will be kind of the customization with several of those sessions, to where it's like I want to do an RDL exercise, but which one will kind of be dependent on which one I feel like doing and which one I did the previous week potentially. Same with like the Saturday session. Like I want to do a squat, whether it's a front or a back squat is not really that important. But then, how the previous week, whichever one I did, maybe do the opposite, but I could also just repeat it week by week, because squats kind of work together. They don't really work against each other, and I need to get better at both, so it's not really going to hurt to do both. I forgot to bring out my hat today. That's another tip if you are training in the cold, just to wear a hat, some sort of winter cap, because you do lose a lot of heat through your head. And with this mic, because I don't have that, I won't be wearing it today, but I'm going to do a couple warm-up reps with the bar. I've been working around with the bar, watching the end of some of the football games, and just kind of stretching. I've actually, to give myself a little bit of credit, like I haven't just been sitting and watching the game. I've actually been doing a decent amount of stretching and warming up, so I actually feel good right now. And one of the things that's nice with warming up for a while when it's a bit cold is the fact that you can acclimate to the temperature a little bit more, because that's part of it. Is you want to actually get warmed up and feel good, but you want to actually get used to it when it's feeling a bit chilly. And I don't know, I feel good. It's like a weird thing. Like I'm sore from yesterday. I feel like I'm not really that tired. I've been sleeping really well, and I'm well caffeinated, which helps as well. So maybe I'll hit 120 today. I kind of set in my mind like a minimum of getting to that same 115, but a lot of that's determined by how the sets feel as I start to work up. It's not too important that I hit something heavy today, because I went heavy on everything yesterday, and yesterday went well, so it's not the end of the world. But I'm starting to like having these blocks on Sunday, because it's a mentally easier movement, and one that with the heavy deadlift yesterday, I can save myself some back strain, I guess, some pulling time, and just focus on trying to be not so slow. Left shoulder's a little achy, but it's also the first full snatch I did today. We'll do one more. So that feels fine. As far as accessory work, I did, let me grab the mic so it's a bit closer. Yesterday I just did some bicep triceps, which I'm sure I talked about in the last video. Today I'm going to do some upright rows, because I haven't done those in a little bit, and then some rear delt, maybe rear delt I should say, but I kind of set, like I want to do upright rows and some lateral raises, so those might turn into like empty cans or, you know, some sort of just that motion. A lot of those, maybe some of these, but I probably won't record those, but I want to get a nice little shoulder pump with that, and just kind of just continue to build. I feel like I'm getting a bit stronger. My lifts are feeling a bit easier each time I do them, and so I just want to keep the consistency, keep trying to hit those same numbers over and over while I'm trying to do a lot of the accessory work to get more muscle, and then hopefully those lifts continue to feel a little bit more routine each time, and then I'm able to be more aggressive. As far as this upcoming week, it's Thanksgiving, so I haven't decided how the end of my week will look. The Saturday session that I do will most likely be the same, and then Friday will probably be the same. Friday's kind of up in the air. I don't know if I'm going to train while I'm up there or just wait till I get home and train. And then Thursday, if I do train, it'll be early in the morning, so might be a little delayed on some of those videos. I should say I definitely will be. If I do train Thursday/Friday, I'll be at home. Well, I guess Friday I'll be able to edit, but the Thursday, obviously, I'll be up north where I'm from originally, and won't have my computer with me, of course. So be a little delayed then, I suppose, but I've been doing a pretty good job, I think, of being consistent on the videos. I'll set this here. I'm going to do a couple more reps at the bar. I don't know if anyone else experiences this, but on a day, one of the indicators are like if you feel good is if the bar feels good. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like just feeling the bar, it feels good. Like it's almost smaller in my hands. I don't know. It's a weird feeling, and I don't always have it, nor is it always an indicator, but it's like you pick up the bar, like it just feels good today. Maybe I'm just a psychopath. All right, before I talk too much and waste too much time, I'll get the greens on, and then just start hitting the weights. We'll see how it feels as I warm up, but left shoulder's a little bit sore from yesterday, and just generally sore, like my traps and stuff are sore, so it's not, wouldn't be out of the question if today is a lighter day, but we'll go ahead and hit this 43 and see how I feel, because that's really the true indicator. The bar gives you some information, but it's really only load that will truly tell you if you feel like trash or not. Felt actually pretty decent. So when I indicate that like a lightweight feels good, it's less about the speed of it or like how difficult it was. It's more of just like, did anything hurt? Or am I really sore? Was the bottom position normal? Basically all of that. Like if it feels pain-free and there's no tightness or anything or any weird feeling, that's when I say like it feels good. Obviously, like this is light enough where it's not really going to be like a life-changing thing, or I'm not going to be able to say like, well, it felt fast today. It's like, well, 43 kilos will always feel fast. I'm going to do lazy loading and just keep the video running. See if I get it with one. Nah, I'll just drop it. And go up to 61. After 61, I'll go to 80. Just kind of get back in the routine of doing a little bit bigger jumps. So I don't necessarily want to spend all my time with the light weights. I'm not Ronnie Coleman. I want to get to heavyweights, not everything's a lightweight. But let's hit this 70 or 61. We'll just keep doing singles. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. We'll get this weight off and get up to 80 and just work up from there. Like I mentioned at the beginning, there's not really like a minimum that I would like to get up today. Obviously, getting something like 120 would be ideal, but just want to hit good lifts today and get ready for the week of training. I kind of treat today as like not so much like a recovery day, because there still is the option of going heavier, but as kind of like a preparation day for the week, or get up to a load that feels decent but kind of prepares my body for those same loads later in the week. That's why I would like to get to 120, because I would like to just start to do 120 snatches. Same with like the clean, like get up to the same numbers to make the next session feel a bit more better, which is the proper grammatical way to say that. But let's get 80 on the bar. As you can see, someone broke and entered in my shed. It loaded 84 on the bar instead of 80. No, not much I can do. Hands are tied. Bar's loaded, so I gotta lift it. But we'll do this. Then, honestly, probably just throw the little 10 on and go up to 93 and then 102. All the American kilo jumps. But yeah, what are you gonna do? Felt good. So we'll go up to 93. Just keep kind of building it from there. Bo's angry at Charles for something. But I'm not going to do the crazy jump to 102, because that would just not really be that beneficial. But go up to 93, 102, 111, and then we'll see from there. But we got to keep hitting the lifts like that. Doesn't feel too bad. I feel like I lifted yesterday, so there is that. But we'll at least hit 93, and just move from there. But yeah, move on. We made a slight deviation and just went up to 95, which is about 210. I think it's technically 209 when you're going from kilos. So I always just, if I want 95 kilos out here with the pounders, then I just do 210, because a pound is not going to make a difference at this percentage. But we'll do 95. See how that feels. Maybe go up to 105. See how that feels. Then keep moving from there. But keep trying to just do a little bit more weight. I don't know. I feel like focused, but kind of a feeling that it's going to start feeling real heavy real soon. But I guess there's only one way to find out. So let's hit this. That was stupid. I should have made that. I'm going to do that again right here. Again, that was stupid. But I don't care about 95. We're just going to go up from there. Screw it. I just wasn't focused, and that's all it was. And that's why I know I can go up and be fine. Because on both of those, I was just early, and that's something that I can fix. So we'll go up to 105, and we'll smoke that. I'm not going to lose my mind doing 95 for another set. That's fine. I guess I don't feel like great today, but what are you going to do? We'll make sure this weight goes up and see how I feel from there, but this might be my top set today. 95, even though those were both misses, like, it doesn't feel like it's a weight I couldn't do for multiple, for like a double or even a triple. I just did bad technique, which is, not helpful, but we'll go ahead and make this one. It's just 105. It's got to finish better. Should have done that on 95. It's funny how that works, but we'll take the 10 kilo jump up to, I guess it'll just be 11 because I'll go to 116. And then see how that feels. Maybe stop there, maybe go up, but like, that's how you tell I'm a bad lifter. Like, I'll miss 95 like that and then do that and it looks fine. So I'm an idiot, but no changing that. Just got to keep adding more weight till I'm actually strong. Well, let's get 116 on the bar. I got my phone on not because I'm sending out texts to local hot babes. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not, but I'm going to cheat and use a song for this one. Get some breakcore playing, which if you ever want to know any song I listen to in any of my videos, always ask. So I love sharing my music, but I also don't like getting copyright strikes. So we're in both I don't know what I'm trying to say. I like music, but I don't like copyright strikes. All right. This is 116. I'm going to smoke this and see how I'm feeling from there, but ain't nothing but a peanut. That was pretty easy. So we're going to take the big boy jump up to 125, and we're going to give it the old college try, but that one felt really routine. I felt like I had more space underneath. Everything just felt good about it. So we're not going to take a baby jump to 120. We're take big boy jumps. Because I'm a big man now. Oh, but that's good. The music helps. So Gotta cheat with the music sometimes. My performance enhancing EDM or breakcore. But we'll get that loaded. I'll get a sip and I'll see you in a second. Now, there's two strategies when it comes to music. The first one is to just keep listening to the same hype song throughout a session and just always use that same part of the song. Or you can find a different song for each big lift. Now, since I haven't really maxed out to that song very much, I'm going to look for a different song that I've listened to before. Because I don't know about any of you, but I like to set up good lifts with new songs or a hype song. And I don't necessarily like to press it too much until I've listened to it a lot or listened to it more than, just a couple times. So, you got to have those routine ones that you know everything about it. And then you sprinkle in, we don't need that. Sprinkle in ones that are the classics, or at least classics for that moment. So we've got the League of Legends songs, even though I don't play this game. Let's go.
Keep talking, keep laughing. One day you wish you hadn't. Other people on fire, fire. Maybe it's time they beat their dragons. If you're gonna hold me down, you're not gonna let me in. Into your castle walls, none of you can keep them. 'Cause if I gotta burn it all down, burn it all down. I don't mind who ends up in this time. And if I gotta break it all down, then let's break it all down. Playing with fire and we'll burn it down. This is where the bruises.
We gotta go one more time. I gotta finish just a little bit harder as I hit the mic towards my mouth, but I was definitely close, and I felt it was close, and I'm confident with it. So we'll find a different song, we'll come back, and we'll give it another good try. Even if it's not a make, it's nice. It's nice to be able to, be confident to attempt this more than just once. But that was definitely there. I think that was just a little bit of nerves that got in the way of that lift, but we'll get the song. Since it's a weight I haven't touched in a little bit, really since the competition, I think that's where the nerves are coming from. Plus, it's a high percentage off the blocks anyway. But this will be a good lift to hit. We gotta actually do it though. This is one. Yeah, I didn't plan to do that part, but Now, the big reason you don't want to do that with the barbell is now I have to try to get back. And, oh, that's gonna be a pain. But I'm trying to like figure out the physics of this. If like if I take the plates off here, if it will swing, or if I could somehow straddle and do some sort of depth. Let's see. It's only I got too excited when I made it. Oh, darn it! This is terrible. This is a tragedy. I'm not worried about the health of the barbell. It's a legal bar. It will be able to handle any puny weight that I'm able to do, but my fingers, they're definitely not able to handle 125 kilos if I pinch it with it. So, see, it's the tricky part. It's like I get to slide this off here, but then I don't want it to, like, I don't think it will swing up because the collar's on there. Like, the physics tell me that taking those off is fine. But then once I take it off, I don't know how to get those plates off. Do I lift it up? Do I roll it off? There are a lot of possibilities, but I suppose it'll be a funny part of the video. So let's see if I can jerry rig this over. So my goal now that I've snatched this is to get it back onto the blocks without breaking any fingers. So this will be a PR. All right. So will this work? All right. Oh, this should be fine. So what we're gonna do? Now I have it. Pick it up. There we go. Now we're cooking. It's just too easy. It's just too easy. See, like, this would be a reason to have clips on, or to not, because maybe it would be easier to get off. But get over there. There we go. That's so easy. And now that it's actually like at level, thankfully, this is where it's important to have. That's on back. You can just pick it up like that. So tragedy avoided. Obviously, barbells could be fine from that. That's why I always find it hilarious that people get mad if you drop an empty barbell. Could you imagine if empty barbells broke from dropping it when they are tested under much more strenuous conditions than I just put it through, and they hold up fine. And the fact that, you know, it's the best barbell that money can buy, it's going to be bent from dropping it, or it's going to, you know, if anything, like the reason I don't just eat down empty barbells out here is I don't want to crack the wood platform. If that's your argument, then that makes total sense. You don't want to break the wood, because the wood's not illegal wood. It's not illegal style wood. Not that I know that really exists. I'm sure that they have some expensive platform that you can buy, but that would make sense if that's your argument. But like damaging the barbell, I'm pretty sure I could be in the highway, standing in the back of a truck, and throw this onto the freeway, and the only thing that would damage it would be maybe a semi truck running it over. And I trust these barbells. I mean, if I didn't trust it, I wouldn't snatch. I wouldn't dive underneath it. That's for sure. Just like I trust the wood. If I didn't trust the equipment that I used, I wouldn't be able to go heavy with it. But anyhow, now that tragedy is avoided, I get the bar back onto the blocks. We're gonna do some cleans now. Just cleans, because I'll do the behind the neck jerks. But obviously, I'm happy to hit that 125. I would have liked to do it on the first one, but that's kind of the thing. Is like, now that I missed it and then made it, when I do this the next week, hopefully I can make similar jumps and then come up and make it on the first one and make it a little bit easier. You know, not that was, I would say, was particularly difficult, but like that was about as hard as I thought it was going to be. And then now I can measure it, that subjective feeling, with the next session that I do, hopefully next Sunday, and I'd be able to assess if it's easier, if it's more difficult. And obviously there's a lot of factors that go in week to week with training. You're not always going to be linearly progressing, but if I am able to get up to, say, 120 kilos in the next Sunday, then that tells me that, everything's still going in that positive direction, because it's not going to be a straight line up. It's going to be a zigzag, hopefully a zigzag up, but sometimes it's a zigzag laterally, and that's not always a bad thing too. And that's a misconception that people have about strength training, is you're not going to constantly be getting stronger, of course, but if you're able to maintain the levels that you're at while you're adding in more volume, more accessory work, more sessions, potentially more singles at whatever weight, and you're able to kind of maintain those same numbers, you are getting stronger in a literal sense too, just because the actual top weight that you're doing isn't necessarily increasing, because that's one measure. Another is like how good you feel session to session, how recovered you feel, like all these different indicators. But I think people often get tricked by how much weight's on the bar, and that being the only indicator of progress. Obviously, for everyone that's lifting, that is the goal, is to increase the amount of weight that you have on the bar. But if you're able to do a full week of training, and maybe you're always feeling bad, like you're, like in my case, let's say like my shoulder, like it's always hurting and I can't, everything is pressed out. And then like, all right, well, I did a whole week where a lot of my top sets I'm catching with locked out arms. That's progress. That means I'm getting stronger. That means the training I'm doing is working, because the same loads that were smashing me before aren't doing that as much. And that's a measurement. And also just how subjectively easy the weight feels. If, you know, the snatches aren't a good indicator, but let's say like the front squat I did yesterday, like that felt better than when I did it before the competition. So I know whatever training I've done since that juncture, since the last time I did a 175 or plus 175 plus front squat, I know that that form of training is benefiting the squat, whether it's the lower body accessories or the upper body accessories. That and the fact that like I did it in sleeves and no belt tells me, all right, if my front squat's getting stronger, then I know generally my training is indicating that I'm doing things correctly. And even though I guess I did miss one yesterday, but that was more, I'm sure I talked about in the last video, but that was more of a slippage versus a technical breakdown, which tends to happen when you have any sort of forward lean. But I've talked enough about this. I'm going to redo my wraps. I'm going to sit down for a couple minutes, look at the football scores, maybe play a little bit of chess, maybe do like a cartwheel or something while the camera's not on, because that would make sense in here. I probably would break my neck if I tried to do any sort of dramatics. There's a lot of stuff I'm comfortable in here doing, but if I just straight up did a cartwheel, I'm pretty sure I would break both my arms and my neck simultaneously by hitting it on something. But anywho, let's get this weight off, get some more, or probably just leave the 61 kilos on there. And I don't know what cleans will look like. Block cleans are an abomination, but I would like to get to 145. I think that's a pretty realistic number. But at the same time, if it's feeling really bad, then I'm not going to push it, because cleans are important. But if there's a lift that I'm not going to push heavy on a particular day, I'd rather it be a clean than a snatch. I'd rather be more aggressive at those, because cleans aren't really ever a problem. But anywho, let's get to the next clip. Thankfully, crisis averted. I'm sure that, oh, just thinking about it, that's funny. I usually don't get that kind of shenanigans on video, but thankfully that doesn't happen too much. Because I'd be, like I said, not worried about the barbell, but I'd actually be more worried about the blocks or the plates or something getting cracked there. But anywho, let's get to the next clip. Let's get on to some cleans. All right, so I'm caught up on football, besides the injuries, which you don't really know about till the next day, if people are going to be injured or not. Thankfully for me, any injury right now is not really that important, because the Browns have already been injured as much as they possibly can be at this point. But none of the injuries I'm waiting to see information for are really, pertinent to me. I don't gamble or do fantasy football or anything like that, so it's more of just an interest for me to pay attention to that stuff. But I'm ready for cleans. I won one chess game. I only played one, and I stopped there, which is good. But I'm going to go 60, then, or 61, 102, 130, 145, and we'll see how those feel, and just keep moving up from there. But I'll probably leave the video running for the first 2 sets, just because they'll be quick. I'm sure this will be pretty sore. I haven't done any warm-ups yet. Feels wonderful. It actually doesn't feel too bad, but it's kind of the problem with sitting for a while, is you kind of get cooled off, but it is what it is. All right. Make sure I don't have a plumber situation with my pants, and do this 102. Ah. I didn't really have to double bounce that. That was more just me being lazy. And I don't know. I'm just a lazy kind of guy. But take a break here, go up to 130, and just keep moving from there. Didn't feel bad or anything. Reps are feeling easy, but it's really like 130 is like the indicator, especially with this movement, with how they'll feel. Because really, like 102, I could do in any variation of a clean and it not feel bad. But once you start going above there for me, then that's when things start getting kind of crazy. But take a break here, get 130 on, and at least do 130 and see how I'm feeling from there. I imagine that 145 will be the most that I'll want to do today. I did do a little bit more in the snatch, but clean's not as imperative to go heavy with all the time. As long as 145 feels routine, then I'll be confident with the clean and the jerk. Although with the behind the neck jerk, might potentially be a little bit more aggressive with that, but with the clean, especially with this variation of it, I just want to make want them to feel pretty good. So we'll just 130, see how I'm feeling from there. I don't know. We'll do 145, but I'm not too happy with how that felt. I think I'll use music for the next one. Get a little bit more, I see a little bit more ooga booga in my lift. I think that's what I'm missing. So we'll get 145 on there and get the ooga booga music on. But I don't know. Because we're going to ooga booga this weight, I'm going to use music for one, and I also went up to 150 instead of 145. I get one attempt. I do not want to be doing multiple block cleans with the weight that I'm, struggling to make. So I get this attempt, and then we're done. And we're moving on to behind the neck jerks, but we got to hit it. Ain't nothing left but to do it with the help of some performance enhancing music. Go back to that original song. Get some bass. Some drums. I guess it has bass too. So, sorry to leave too much weight. Kind of makes sense. The 130 didn't feel great, and I didn't finish well enough on that. I wasn't fast enough underneath, and thankfully, it just crashed off me. So I'm not injured or anything from that, but that's a weight that I'd like to be able to do from the blocks for the clean, but I'm not going to repeat it there. Part of me wants to, but it's just not worth it when it kind of crashes on me like that. So when I do this the next week, then I would like to probably just do 145 again, then maybe go up to 150. But the idiot part of me wants to just repeat it and try to get it. Because I think that I can. So I think part of it, I just wasn't confident enough, and I think I talked myself back into it. So we're going to get a different song on. We're going to do it one more time. I don't want to end on that. We just got to try harder. A little bit more ooga booga, but yeah, we got to do it again. No choice. Let's go. This will truly be my last attempt of cleans. So we got to find a special song. We just got to be aggressive. That's all it is. All it is. Fast elbows, aggressive. Come on. So as you see, very easy rep, very low RP. Probably could have done it for a triple, but I just ooga booga'd harder, and that's the true key. That's a bit of technical advice that I can't teach, and one that I can't quantify. But if you know, you know. If you got to get more ooga booga in your lift, then you just got to ooga booga, just that little bit more, and that's what makes a difference. And I guess the simplistic way of thinking of that term is just putting more aggression into it, but getting more hyped, more angry, more self-deprecating, whatever it takes. That's basically what it is. The ooga booga is trying to use the ape monkey part of your brain to do the lift, and oftentimes that allows you to get that last little bit to get underneath of it. And it was very difficult. It was all over the place, but I was able to do it. And now, obviously, that's the last one. I don't want to do it again, or any sort of derivative of that. But the goal is the next time I do it to hopefully make it a little less ooga boogie and more cleaner. But we're gonna move on some behind the neck jerks. Hopefully, they don't look as difficult as that. But we'll keep moving forward. I got to change the battery camera anyway, so definitely not gonna go up from there. But I don't know. I guess 160 is my best. So that's a really high percentage, especially without a belt and with going heavy yesterday. So within the context of the lifting situation that I'm currently in on this particular day, then 150 is really good, but certainly would have liked it to be a lot cleaner on the catch, and obviously would have liked to make it on the first one. But just like with the snatch, sometimes the first one you're just scared, and then you have to choke yourself to go underneath of it, which is a hard thing to do. But sometimes you're able to, sometimes you ain't. Well, let's get to some behind the neck jerks and see how the Sunday night game is turning out. I think they probably would have just started at this point. Started to feel a bit tired, so I don't know if I'll do squats, but if I do, they're just going to be the continuation of the front squats I did yesterday, so the drop sets I would have normally have done. We'll see. I'm envisioning taking some pretty big jumps on these behind the neck jerks because I would like to get up to 150 or 152, depending on how I make the jumps here. But I also am just feeling lazy with these, which could be to my detriment, but we'll see. So I'm going to do the bar 70, 120, and then go all the way to 152 and see how that works. The reason 152 is just because it's the yellow 335, so just slightly over 150 kilos. But we'll make it routine, and we're not going to do the bar. We're just going to do 70. In fact, let's just do a continuous clip. So 120, or 70, 120, 152. And I've also changed my mind. I'm going to squat tomorrow, so I'll do either front or back tomorrow, but I'll do drop sets tomorrow. I don't really want to. I'm just getting a little bit tired, and I want to go and eat and relax. It's been a hard session today, so I don't mind taking it a little easy. I'll still do the accessories. I'm just not going to record them. The upright rows and the shoulders. Those are more important than hitting squats, at least today, because I can do harder squats tomorrow. All right, let's just get to 70. They feel great, but it is what it is. I think I talked about this at the beginning. Last week I did 145, the same as the clean. So with everything, I've increased by 5 kilos, but as you can see, it got significantly more difficult. And so with this lift, it may be where my luck ends, which honestly would be the end of the world. I'm pretty confident on behind the neck jerks if I do want to try to get up to that, but I kind of just want to be done training today. Kind of tired. All right. 120. Oh, well, the last one we'll cheat with music. But we'll have to get aggressive. This one's going to be heavy. Platform's a little dusty, so give myself that peace of mind. Dust it off real quick. Prevent myself from having any excuse. Alright, let's find the music. Get this. Do some shoulder work to get huge, and then be on my way. Alright. What are we going to use? That's the true question. I will go with the same one I used before. All right. Let me get the mic. Not the prettiest lift, but as you can see, I went through them quick. I did a really big jump. My left arm didn't feel like it was really locked out very well, but I didn't feel like, it's a weird feeling. So I didn't feel like it was solid. So it was like this, but I didn't feel like I needed to like press it to stabilize it above my head. Most of the time with jerks, if it's like that, then it's just kind of like wobbly looking, but it just means it's not, fully locked out as it should be. But just like with the other lifts, like I want that to be easier, to be routine. Although I did, jump from 120 to 152, so it's hard to say that that's not necessarily routine. But want it to be easier, want it to be cleaner, and it's a good end to this session because I don't really want to do more front squats today, just because I'm tired. Like I said, I just want to do the bodybuilding work and be done. But I'm happy to be able to get that. Happy with the session, really, just in general. I was able, I had misses, but was able to get up to some heavier weights than the last Sunday, and just want to keep building upon that. And the big way to build upon that is not through more work in the weightlifting movements, at least for me right now. My current philosophy is to use the accessory work at the end to build into being able to just be generally stronger. So that's going to be it for this one. If you made it this far, I do appreciate it. I know this video will be struck down by music copyright, but I think it's kind of nice to have the music in when I do use it in these kind of videos, just because it adds more context to my lifts. Because generally, if I wasn't training or wasn't doing a mic'd up video, I would just have music for every set. But it is kind of nice to have that difference as like nose torque or something like a powerlifter would use. I kind of use that with music. Maybe that's my next step to get nose torque as well. But I've never used it, and I don't really plan on it. Maybe I'm leaving kilos on the bar, but I don't think I want to start abusing that stuff because I'd probably end up using it too much or end up passing out or something if I did. But yeah, good session. 125 in the snatch off the blocks, 150 off the blocks for the clean, and then the 152 for the behind the neck jerk. So I'm going to do some arm work, try to get my shoulders bigger, get them more stronger, and so I can be the biggest and strongest person in this whole shed, which currently I am, but I got to beat myself. Because if I don't, then I'll be weak. So that's it for this one. I'll talk to you all in the next video, and I hope you have a great day. Peace.